Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zeng here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked, and today we're just jumping right into things. I'm still using the Conkeldurr team that Tutput provided. Of course, this is a rental team, so if you want to check it out, check out the links in the description below and give Tutput a follow. We're up against, I think this team, I might have seen it on Reddit, I think it was actually able to get number 1 on the ladder, and it revolves around like Moxie Gyarados, supported by Lightning Rod Raichu. So yeah, that can definitely be a tricky thing to go up against, but I feel like Whimsicott Duraludon here is super solid. We can just double protect turn 1 to block a potential fake out from the Raichu, and then we can just Tailwind Max Wormwind, or you don't even have to necessarily Tailwind. We can also have Safeguard to block potential Nuzzles from the Raichu. So that seems super solid. I think Conkeldurr is a must bring into this matchup. It's got Thunder Punch for Gyarados. If we knock out Raichu, then we can just one-shot it. It's got Drain Punch for the Tyranitar. And for the last Pokemon, we'll probably want something that matches up well against the Tyranitar, or sorry, the Jellicent. Fortunately, Cinderace isn't very good here, I think, so we'll probably want to go with our own Jellicent. Vanilluxe is an alright brain, but I don't think Sand is that much of a concern from my opponent's end. And with our Jellicent, we can also disrupt the Gyarados and the Tyranitar and the Arcanine by going for String Slap. So, yeah, excited to play some more games with this team. Vanilluxe was really clutch yesterday. Not bringing it in the first game today, but I hope you guys enjoy. As always, if you do, please share your support by leaving a like. Question of the day, I want to know if you guys tuned into Wolfie's Smash VGC Invitational Tournament yesterday. I was a commentator and played, or not played, but coached Mewtwo King, which was a super sick experience, and it was a lot of fun to be part of. So, yeah, let me know if you guys tuned into that. It was a really cool experience, and if you haven't seen it, you can check out the VODs on Wolfie's YouTube channel. That's linked in the description below if you don't follow him already. We're also getting really close to 100k subs. It'd be really cool if we could hit it before the end of the month. But thank you to everyone for tuning in to the content recently and throughout the years. It really means a lot. So like I mentioned, I think we can just double protect here. A lot of the times, I think you're going to want to fake out the Whimsicott and maybe Dynamax and go for a Max Wormwind. So by going for this, we can just go for a Tailwind Dynamax and then go for a Max Wormwind as our own. Sorry, they're not going to Max Wormwind. They're going to go for a Max Airstream onto the Whimsicott. Yeah, so I believe this is Moxie. I don't know if this is the same team. I just remember seeing a team that was able to get number 1 on the ladder in this season had Raichu Gyarados, and it's partnered. Yeah, you basically lead Raichu Gyarados, you Dynamax, and you kind of just sweep through. So once again, this is the upside of running Protect on Whimsicott. You can protect against Fake Outers, and then you're able to just go from there. So let's see. Yep, there's the Fake Out, and I'm expecting Max Wormwind here. Or sorry, Airstream. I keep saying Wormwind. It's because I'm going to Wormwind with my own Duraludon. That still does a ton of damage, which obviously is scary. But that's fine. We get our Tailwind up. The question is what item the Raichu has. I mean, Raichu pretty much always has Focus Sash or Assault Vest, and both are not ideal here because it means I can't actually knock out the Raichu. I think we're half to Tailwind here, though. That's for sure. Tailwind, Dynamax, and we'll Wormwind. I kind of want to Wormwind into Raichu here because I could see Gyarados Max Guarding. I guess Max Guarding. If you Max Guard here, that's fine, right? Because then you waste a turn of your Dynamax, and as soon as my opponent's Dynamax ends, we're in a good spot. So we're going to Dynamax, we're going to Tailwind, and I think I'm expecting Nuzzle and another Max Airstream into the Whimsicott. And then that basically negates the speed boost that we have through Tailwind. But then we can bring in Jellicent. I think Jellicent and Conkeldurr have a good late game against my opponent's team too. This is a really offensive duo for my opponent from the get-go though. Alright, so nice. No Protect or Max Guard from that Gyarados. So we're going to be able to get an attack decrease here. Although it is Moxie, so it's just going to get it back after knocking out the Whimsicott. But, oh, that's Assault Vest Gyarados, right? Yeah, that must be. So I'm guessing the Focus Sash is on Raichu. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't remember the item that Gyarados had. And there's the Nuzzle, yep. We also could have Safeguarded, but actually Safeguarded might have been better, to be honest. Because it's not like I'm going to outspeed anyway now after the Airstreams and the Nuzzle. It is the last turn of Dynamax, though. And that Gyarados is at neutral. The problem is that we don't have Protect on anything we have in the back, and I mean, assuming Assault Vest Gyarados, you could maybe just double up onto Jellicent for a knockout, so it's actually not looking too great, honestly. Wow, that Assault Vest is really hefty, too. Without Protect here, we're actually in a pretty awkward spot. Gonna try to Trick Room here. And go for another Wormwind into Gyarados. Yeah, I underestimated. I assumed we would just two-shot the Gyarados, so I wasn't too worried about that. But this lead ends up being super strong. And Raichu gives Gyarados, such good coverage. It's actually gonna be Brick Break on Duraludon, though. Okay. And a Max Overgrowth shouldn't knock us out. I feel like a double up on a Jellicent would probably have been better. Yeah, this is max HP defense, Jellicent, so that actually gives us a huge window of opportunity now. Especially if we don't get fully paralyzed here with Duraludon. Because now we get a Trick Room up. And we don't get paralyzed, nice. Beautiful. Yeah, so we're going to max Wormwind. The Gyarados is at -1 attack now. We're actually going to heal back from Grassy Terrain and Leftovers, and then we can Strength Sap the Gyarados this next turn. To basically heal all the way back up. Yeah. And we know Gyarados is Assault Vest. So it's not going to be able to protect this next turn. So pretty safe target into that slot with the Strength Sap. So we've seen Fake Out, we've seen Nuzzle, we saw the Brick Break. That's actually a really cool move. I mean, you use it specifically for Grimmsnarl and screens. But if we brought the Ice Cream Cone, actually would have put in some work here against us as well. I'm just seeing my opponent has a potential switch into the Wormwind with the Togekiss. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, after a Strength Sap, you're really not knocking out either. I mean, a Thunderbolt is still the concern, I guess. Alright, we're definitely Strength Sapping Gyarados. The question is what we want to do here with Duraludon. Kind of want to start getting damage off against the Raichu. Because Gyarados doesn't actually threaten us too much. Yeah, we'll Wormwind Raichu and Strength Sap Gyarados. Alright, so no switch out. Let's see if it is Focus Sashed. Yep, so not surprising there. Focus Sash, Raichu, Assault Vest Gyarados. Cool sets. So Gyarados is really not going to be doing much damage, but my opponent might... I mean, Thunderbolt's going to do a lot to us, I guess. Alright, let's see how much we heal from the Strength Sap here. Might have been better to go for like a Steel Spike, actually. With Duraludon. I think we'll survive a double up here. Yeah, I mean, this is -3 attack now. Yeah, I think a Thunderbolt we should survive as well. Oh, it's actually Volt Switch as the last attack. Okay. Alright, actually Thunderbolt would have KO'd us there, I think. Yeah. Okay, so my Dynamax ends now. We still got multiple turns of Trick Room. Conkeldurr can potentially sweep through everything. The Togekiss is the one thing I'm worried about and actually ends up coming out here. Okay. But if we get a Flash Cannon off against that, I think Rock Slide should just be able to take care of it in the late game. Strength Sap will still be able to heal a fair amount as well. I mean, the one thing I'm worried about here is Weakness Policy Togekiss, but if you are Weakness Policy, I think Duraludon just knocks you out. The Nuzzle is actually working in our favor right now. We still have one turn of Tailwind, so we should be aware of that. So that means Togekiss might actually be faster than us. With that, then, I kind of want to just Strength Sap the Togekiss and protect Duraludon this turn. To stall out our own Tailwind. Although, I guess, honestly, sacking Duraludon probably is fine, because Conkeldurr can actually put in a lot of work. We get paralyzed. Although, maybe that works out in our favor. Although, I mean, a Gleam... Does a Gleam just knock both of us out? No. That's unfortunate. Yeah, discounted the fact like Jellicent would actually be faster than Togekiss, and that's because it's not Min Speed Jellicent. So, super solid play by my opponent there. Still don't know the item on that either. I think we're just gonna have to Rock Slide and Flash Cannon here. Don't know the item on Togekiss. If you fake out the Duraludon, we have a flinch chance. Fake Out's going into Conkeldurr though, which makes me think it's probably Babiri Berry. Yeah, it looks like it. Alright, I don't think... I mean, Conkeldurr theoretically could actually 1v4 this. Which is kind of crazy to say. Wow, well played by my opponent though. Yeah, my own Tailwind ended up hurting me a little bit here in the end. I don't think Rock Slight's actually knocking out that Togekiss. So the correct play, I guess, would have been to withdraw Duraludon out. I didn't think a Dazzling Gleam would knock out the Jellicent, but I guess this is max HP defense Jellicent, and if you have a little bit of special attack investment on Togekiss, that's probably enough. Like, I was confident I'd survive that, and even if it was faster than me under Tailwind, I thought I'd be good, but not the case here. Yeah, so unfortunately, I think we've actually lost. Well played. I mean, it's going to be a 4-0 in the end, but it felt a lot closer, I think. All right. Well, maybe we can get a double knockout here. Nah, Togekiss is so bulky. Yeah. So our own Tailwind ended up hurting us here, and I think that because of that, we had a flinch. Okay. But the thing is that we don't have that Trick Room ends here, yeah. So that is the problem when you set up both Tailwind and Trick Room, and that's why I was saying, like, maybe I actually shouldn't have set up Tailwind in the beginning of the game. This is a really strong team, though. And I think I needed to put on more offensive pressure with the Duraludon. Arcanine is my opponent's last one. If for some reason my opponent messes up here and Will-O-Wisps us, we could heal all the way back up with Drain Punch. So I think that's what we go for. Nah, just Flare Blitzing. Alright, well played. Yeah, I think a well-played Jellicent and Conkeldurr could have beaten my opponent's entire team, but I did not play that well. Like, I feel like the leads were fine. I mean, Duraludon... Yeah, in a best of 3, I don't think I'd be leading Duraludon as much because I know that the Gyarados is Assault Vested. So that ended up being the game changer, right? Making sure that you could survive 3 attacks, or it would take 3 attacks to knock out the Gyarados, was a game changer there. So, neat team for my opponent. Alright, we're going to find our next opponent of the day. We're going up against Federico, and let's see what they are using. Dragapult, the Duraludon, so a lot of dragons here. Whimsicott, Gastrodon, Togekiss, and the Galarian Darmanitan. So, super speedy team for the most part. And that's always pretty scary to... Like, staring down Whimsicott, Dragapult is always scary because if they get Tailwind up, they pretty much will outspeed every Pokemon, you know? So, it always makes things a little dicey. I mean, we could just go with our own Whimsicott and Duraludon, but the problem here is even if we trade Tailwinds, I think my opponent will probably have the speed advantage for a lot of the game. I just can't see my opponent not bringing Whimsicott here. It's like the Trick Room route would be nice to go under or go through with, but I don't know how I feel about that either. I don't know how easy it will be to set up. That's the main thing, because you can get Dynamax Max Darkness from the Duraludon, Dynamax Max Phantasm from the Dragapult. Like, my Duraludon's so good offensively against so much of my opponent's Pokemon. The problem is just that I think my opponent probably leads Whimsicott plus something like, I would think, Dragapult or even the Duraludon. But I don't think leading Jellicent is appropriate, so maybe we just go Whimsicott. Whimsicott Vanilluxe is interesting. I'm gonna actually try that out, I think. I'm not sure Conkeldurr was the right 4th here, though. And maybe I should have considered Cinderace a little bit more. It does outspeed Whimsicott. Like, the only thing that outspeeds is Dragapult. I just, like, hate the idea of bringing Cinderace into a matchup with Dragapult. Because it can just Dynamax, Max Phantasm, or Wormwind. That decreases our firepower by so much. So, I don't know. This is definitely a scary matchup. It is Whimsicott Duraludon. Ugh, this is tricky. Although, our Vanilluxe... It depends if it's timid or modest. If it's modest Duraludon, then our Vanilluxe will outspeed. I think what I want to do here is actually Tailwind and Aurora Veil. Yeah. Let's see. Was there a point of... I mean, Blizzarding could be nice just so we get rid of Whimsicott immediately, but that would give my opponent a free switch into, so yeah, I'm just going to Tailwind Aurora Veil turn 1. Setting up this bulk, I think, will be really good for the Duraludon that I have in the back. So I thought really hard about leading Whimsicott Duraludon as well, but I don't want to get outsped by a Duraludon. We have no bulk on our R, so a Life Orb can actually just get a one-hit KO immediately, which I really did not want to deal with. So here, at least, we'll be able to set up the Aurora Veil, which can benefit us. And if you're Tailwinding with Whimsicott, then you're not knocking out the Vanilluxe. The big question here is who's faster between Vanilluxe and Duraludon. So we are going to trade Tailwinds here. I also could have Protect Blizzarded to get a stagger my Tailwind by a turn, but don't think that was worth it. Okay, so Tailwinds are up. Alright, we are faster with Vanilluxe, so it looks like it is modest Duraludon for my opponent. That is good to know. Steel Spike coming out. Who's it targeting here? Yeah, into Vanilluxe. Okay. You know, the scary thing here is that you can just get a double knockout this next turn with the Steel Spike. Or you Moonblast the Vanilluxe and Steel Spike the Whimsicott. It is Life Orb Duraludon as well, so we probably Speed Tie, which makes this so terrifying to play against. Let me see. Yeah, I think you always Moonblast the Vanilluxe here. Maybe Blizzard would have been better. I really think it could come down to a Speed Tie. I'm going to Protect. And I think sack Vanilluxe, yeah. I mean, I guess we could stall out my opponent's Dynamax by just protecting Duraludon on the last turn. It's a possibility. Yeah, so Moonblast is going to go out into Vanilluxe. That's going to get the KO. So we got the screens up, but... I mean, the thing is, even if we lose the Speed Type, we won't get KO'd. It's just that if we win, we're in a really good spot. Yeah, I'm not sure Moonblast will knock out the Whimsicott here either. Yeah, if this is no bulk Duraludon after the Life Orb and the Hail, I think Max Wormwind actually will just KO that. But he might Protect. I mean, I guess if you Protect, though, then that's fine. Yeah. We're obviously not to a great start, but I didn't want to just lead the mirror match without knowing my opponent's speed. Alright, I think we're just going to Moonblast here. What can my opponent have in the back? A lot of scary things. Trick Room might have been the route to go this game, but it's really hard to set it up, I think. Maybe I should have led something like... actually, Cinderace here, like I was saying, could have actually been good, but I was just so worried about that Dragapult. I'm going to Moonblast Whimsicott, Dynamax, and Wormwind. I mean, if we win the Speed Tie and just one-shot the Duraludon, I think we're actually in a decent spot. Because we still have Aurora Veil up. But if we lose the Speed Tie, you just get so much damage off with Max Wormwind. Even if you don't knock me out, like, it's all that damage that comes out, so... Yeah, unfortunately we do Speed Tie here. I mean, there's a chance it's slower, too, and it's not Modest Max Speed, but I assume it is. I also could have protected Duraludon here, but I'm not sure that would have been a good play. Alright, well, it wins the Whimsicott Speed Tie. Does that KO us through Aurora Veil? No, it doesn't. It's a special attack drop too, though. Alright, the only worst thing to happen now is my opponent winning the Speed Tie here. But we do win it, okay. I don't know if it was a Speed Tie. Well, once again, it might have been slower. But we get the knockout. Alright, we're in business. The problem here is that my opponent will probably be able to get another Tailwind up in this game, whereas I can't. So it's still looking scary, but not taking a chunk of damage there with Duraludon is huge. And unfortunately, we will faint from the Hail there. Yeah. But I suppose my opponent getting another Tailwind up in this game doesn't matter, because it's not like Tailwind would really... I'm going to be slower than everything in the back anyway at this point, I think. Actually, I mean, there's still one turn of Tailwind, right? So we basically are Speed Tying here. Or not Speed Tying, sorry. Trading speeds this turn. Stogekiss coming out. That's not bad to see at all, actually. Yeah, we both have Tailwind. I don't know if Rock Slide spread damage plus Hail knocks out, but I'm leaning towards Rock Sliding and Steel Spiking. If it's Weakness Policy, it gets knocked out. If it's Babiri, that plus Rock Slide will KO. Alright, no Protect. We should take the double up here. Nice. I think Air Slash actually would have been scarier to go up against because they could have flinched. Alright, doesn't look like Babiri Berry. Okay. So it's going to be a 2-on-1 now where I still have a turn of Dynamax from Duraludon, so I think we might be good. Let's see. Actually, I really need this Rock Slide to hit. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, that is bulkier than I thought. Are you serious? Wait, what? Oh, it's for Fling with Dragapult. Huh. Manitan's the last one. This is so close. How many turns of Hail are left? Oh, this is the last turn. Does Moonblast KO? It's gonna be close. I think we Drain Punch here into Darmanitan. See, the thing is, Mach Punch I don't think is knocking out Whimsicott. Oh, this is so dicey. Yeah, I'm Drain Punching Darmanitan and Steel Spiking Whimsicott. Because Steel Spike will give us the defense boost, but both Pokemon are going to be faster than us right now. How much does Moonblast do? Not that much. Does Superpower KO? That does. But now it's going to be a 1v1 and we heal all the way back up with Drain Punch against the Darmanitan. I don't think I could have risked Max Guarding there. Fling Lychee Berry. Yeah, that makes sense. We went up against that the other day. At first I was like, it has like a bulky berry? What's happening here? I think, yeah, Conkeldurr wins now. Okay, good. I think that was always the safest play to make. So all I need to do is not get crit here. I am not sure if 2 Mach Punch knocks that out, because that Whimsicott took that Rock Slide pretty well, so I think we go for the Drain Punch here. Yeah. As long as we don't get crit, we'll win. 2 Mach Punch probably KOs. Alright, we're good. Nice. Conkeldurr coming through. Whew, that was a scary game. If it was modest max speed Duraludon, then yeah, it was a speed tie. And I think whoever won that would have been in a really good position. But not sure what the other best approach to this game is. I still don't feel very great about bringing leading Jellicent. Like, Jellicent could be good with redirection, but I don't have redirection. So the main thing is you can just Dynamax and one-shot the Jellicent with like a Max Phantasm. And I have to worry about Taunt, Encore, even Energy Ball from Whimsicott. So there are so many things to be concerned about. Nice, we get a rare candy. We'll actually get to see the team here. Yeah, so it had Snarl, actually. 107 speed. I actually don't remember what the exact speed stat of Duraludon is. We can check that later. Yeah, so it was Weakness Policy, Fling Lychee Berry. I'm guessing that was Scarf. Oh, it was Banded Darmanitan. Yeah, actually, I didn't think Superpower would KO without the ban, but I wasn't sure about that. AV Gastron. Then Scope Lens, Togekiss, which is actually becoming more common now. Because, yeah, with Dynamax, like, you basically Dynamax, and then you go for, like, Max Airstream and Starfalls, and you have, like, a 50% chance of critting, so it's kind of gnarly. Alright, we pick up another one, and we're going to look for our third game today. Trying to think about what else to say in that match. Yeah, I would have liked to go down the Trick Room route, but I just think that was way too difficult because Whimsicott Dragapult was such a big threat. But I guess my Duraludon probably scared my opponent's Dragapult away. And I actually want to quickly check what speed Duraludon reaches, because our opponent had 107 speed. And we're up against the 5th ranked player. Wow, okay. That's hype. Oh, okay, it was not a speed tie. Their Duraludon had no speed. Yeah. So we were good there. That was not a speed tie. Okay, good. Makes me feel a little bit better. So, yeah, number 5th ranked player today with Rotom, Dragapult, Gastrodon, Mimikyu, Arcanine, and Rhyperior. Alright. What you got here? Fortunately, it's not a day for Cinderace, is it? I think Vanilluxe is solid here to set up a screen immediately. Gotta worry about the threat of Trick Room, but maybe that's not too bad. Now, my opponent doesn't have Tailwind, so I could just go... Like, I feel like Whimsicott Duraludon here is solid. The problem is if I set up Tailwind, Rhyperior can just kind of sweep through me. The other question is, how do I deal with Gastrodon? I don't have Energy Ball. Cinderace is definitely not coming out. The thing is, I could go Vanilluxe Duraludon if I anticipate my opponent leading Mimikyu, because then I can just Blizzard, Dynamax, Steel Spike to get the KO. But, I mean, I could do the same thing with Whimsicott, I guess. So let's go Whimsicott, Duraludon. Definitely Conkeldurr. Probably Jellicent still. I actually think Vanilluxe might not be a bad bring here, though. It gives me better answers against that Gastrodon. I don't know. I mean, I guess Jellicent's still fine here because I can Shadow Ball and Strength Sap. So that's probably the more consistent option, but I wanted to try Vanilluxe in this one. 5th ranked player, though, that's pretty hype. I don't think we've played someone that high up. We've gotten like 10s and 20s, but not like top 10. Arcanine Dragapult, that's actually not bad to stare down. Like, I don't mind that at all, actually, because what we can do is Tailwind Dynamax. The problem here is my opponent has that Mimikyu in the back, so you could easily switch in Mimikyu to take a Wormwind, and wasting a turn of Dynamax is like the worst case. Don't also know what kind of set that Dragapult has. Definitely clicking Tailwind here. If I'm really worried about Mimikyu, I could go for a Steel Spike. Tailwind. I could also just Protect, I guess. I want to go on the offense. I'm going to Wormwind Arcanine because I could see Dragapult switching out into Mimikyu. Neither switch, though. Okay. Huh. This is scary, though, because this means Dragapult's Dynamaxing. Oh, it means Arcanine is Dynamaxing. What? Does Dragapult Protect here, then? Is this special Arcanine? Oh, no. Oh, it's beat up. It's Focus Sash Dragapult with beat up Arcanine. I'm confident of it. Oh, we're just gonna get wrecked here, I think. Focus Sash is the only explanation for why you would make... I mean, I guess you Dynamax her always, but this isn't KOing. That's my bad, too. I should have seen the Intimidate not come out. That's Assault Vest beat up, isn't it? Yeah, with Dragapult. Yeah, well played, dude. Well played. I mean, even if I see that, though, I don't know what I can do differently. Yeah. That was really well done by my opponent. Unless, for some reason, +3 Max Flare doesn't knock us out. You might also just go for the Max Knuckle. Although I'm actually really not sure +3 Max Knuckle KOs is. But we have no bulk on Duraludon, so probably. Here's the Max Flare, yeah. And a Duraludon. Okay, we actually survive. Alright, that gives us a real fighting chance then. You have to worry about Ally Switch from the Dragapult, but that should be fine. This is the next big turn, though. This next turn is big. We basically have to call whether Arcanine max guards or not. Oh, wait, no, I can't max guard. Sorry, it's a Assault Vest. So, obviously not, yeah. So maybe we can just Moonblast and Wormwind, then. It's just, once again, the Ally Switch could come out from Dragapult. That's definitely Assault Vested, though. Okay. That's still fine, I think. I mean, Moonblast will go off into the Dragapult. It's going to reveal Focus Sash, I'm sure. Trash Sash, right? Yeah. Okay. Wormwind's going to come out, and because of Stalwart, it's actually going to target down the Arcanine. I actually don't think Moonblast would have KO'd there anyway, actually, to be honest. The better play might have been to protect Duraludon and Moonblast with Whimsicott. There's Max Flare into Duraludon. Okay. I don't think Conkeldurr outspeeds the Arcanine, does it? We are Adamant. If he's max speed, we don't outspeed. I guess we have Mach Punch too, right? Alternatively, we could just go out into Vanilluxe. That might be better, actually. we call the ally switch correctly, we just get a double knockout. And then we can Tailwind Aurora Veil and then think Conkeldurr wins. Wish I had Ice Shard here. Does the ally switch again? I need both Moonblast and Blizzard to knock out Arcanine because it's Assault Vested. I don't even know if that knocks out, to be honest. I want to say it does, though. God, I really want to predict the ally switch the second time. I think my opponent just goes for it. I'm going to predict it. Please go for it. This is why ally switch is like one of the toughest moves to play around. But that's cool. Like, you look at the Dragapult team preview and you're thinking, oh, it's probably like a offensive set. But yeah, support beat up. Okay, nice. They go for it. Alright, I mean, the question is whether Blizzard and Moonblast knocks out Dynamax to solve this Arcanine. Oh my goodness, it's not going to, is it? Oh, it does. Nice. Okay. That's huge. That is huge for us, because I think Vanilluxe and Whimsicott might actually be able to close out this one. And we still got Conkeldurr waiting in the back. Now, we'll actually win with Conkeldurr as long as we knock out the Mimikyu, if my opponent has that Mimikyu. Alright, that was huge, though. Denying Arcanine another attack was big. Yeah. God, that was so scary to go up against, though. There's the Mimikyu. Okay, so my opponent brought it. Now, the thing is that it could also Trick Room, which is what is scary, but Rotom is not really going to be a threat to us here. We've got one turn of Tailwind left. My opponent could definitely Trick Room. But if you Trick Room, that paves the way for Conkeldurr in the back. It's just that I kind of want to Aurora Veil if I'm predicting the Trick Room Protect from Rotom. Like, worst case is I Moonblast Blizzard into Rotom. Rotom protects, Mimikyu Trick Rooms. Because then you can play Rough away. Okay, I think we Moonblast into Mimikyu. I'm Blizzarding, but I think Aurora Veil might have been the correct play. Let's see if Rotom protects here. Ah, it doesn't. Yeah, we could have doubled up onto it for the win then. I guess the double up is always the correct play because the Blizzard isn't knocking out the Mimikyu anyway. Okay. Vanilluxe has a Focus Sash though, which is obviously huge, and Blizzard does so much damage there, but it doesn't knock out either. Procs the Berry on the Rotom. I mean, if Trick Room goes up here, actually, that's fine, because then that paves the way for Conkeldurr. Given that that's Volt Switching, it means it doesn't have... And it is Trick Room. I mean, how slow is the Mimikyu, then? That's the question. This is so intense. Yeah, double up would have won us the game there onto the Rotom, but I wasn't super confident with that. Jeez, can't speak. I think double protecting this turn is the correct play. The only downside of that is that there's a Swords Dance on Mimikyu. But by double protecting, it's another turn of Hail on both of these Pokemon. It also could be worthwhile maybe sacking one Pokemon. Because I'm not sure you can actually knock out both here. But I want to protect just to get more Hail damage onto the Mimikyu. I mean, we could also underspeed. I think I'm going to just go on the offense this turn. I'm too afraid of Swords Dance. Oh, my opponent just forfeits. What? Yeah, I mean, I think the Vanilluxe, if that was max speed Mimikyu, that would explain the forfeit, I guess, if it was max speed Mimikyu. Because, I mean, I guess Rotom could still crit the Leaf Storm. I feel like a forfeit was not needed from my opponent. Like, you could still win that for sure. But, yeah. Like, I don't know. In that position, I mean, Trick Room is up. I think, if... I just don't think you can knock out both Pokemon. Like, Rotom... It was probably slower than the Vanilluxe, so you probably outspeed us under Trick Room. So, but then you would need to go for the Leaf Storm. Yeah, you would need to Leaf Storm us. Volt Switch crit wouldn't even knock out. And then, I'm not even sure Mimikyu would have knocked out the Whimsicott. Like, especially if you're not Life Orb. If you are Life Orb, maybe Life Orb play Rough Chaos. I mean, that probably knocks out. But then you take the Life Orb damage, and then now you're at -2 special attack with the Rotom. So then I can just bring in Conkeldurr. And then with Conkeldurr, I can either just Thunder Punch to knock out the Mimikyu, or can go for Rock Slide if after the Hail and Life Orb damage, the Mimikyu's chipped down enough to avoid a potential ally switch there from the Rotom. But yeah, wasn't expecting the game to play out that way, but man, that Arcanine was so scary to go up against. But we managed taking down the 5th ranked player, which is pretty hype. We're not super high up, but hopefully we'll be able to climb one day as high as our opponent. Either way, that is going to be it for this one, guys. We managed to take down the 5th ranked player. We go up against some really cool stuff like that Assault Vest, Gyarados, and if you actually want to try out that team, I'll link the export in the description below. So thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you tuned into Wolf's Invitational Tournament. If not, check out the VODs from yesterday. Leave a like if you enjoyed, as always, and I'll see you guys soon. All right, peace.